It is officially the holiday season, which means one of two things for language learners. Either A, you're about to have a ton of time off from work or school, and so you think it's a perfect opportunity to really cram a language into your brain while you have all this free time. Or you've had a good language learning routine down and you're worried that the change in routine is going to mess with your language learning and you're really afraid of losing all of the momentum you've been building up all this time. My name is Jamie. I'm a language coach. Let's talk about how to learn languages during the holidays so that you finish at the holidays like not hating yourself or the language. The holidays are a really big time for emotions, and so let's keep our emotions towards language learning simple and easy so we can just go right into them once all of the hullabaloo is over. Now let's start with those language learners who already have a fairly consistent schedule. Maybe you've gotten into a consistent routine with language learning over the past couple of months. That is amazing. But you realize that it's about to be that time for life to throw something at you and all of a sudden you lose everything. I get it. I've been there. If you're already looking ahead to the holidays and realizing that it's going to be a different routine and it might be harder to stick to your normal everyday work or school routine with language learning in there, then you're on the right path and you're actually farther along than you think. Because a lot of times when routine changes happen, they sneak up on us. You know, maybe we get sick, maybe we have a family emergency, maybe we have errands to run, any number of things. Most of the time, they happen without us being able to expect and prepare for them. However, during the holidays, everything is 100% expected to blow up in our face. So what do? If you are nervous about your language learning just kind of falling to the side a little bit, it's okay. Give yourself permission to take that break. Give yourself permission to focus on other priorities. Maybe you have family in town. Maybe you have special festivities. Maybe you have really meaningful traditions to uphold, and it makes it really hard to stick to your normal language learning routine. Give yourself permission to let go. And I know this can be really scary because maybe in the past when you've let go, you found it really hard to get back to language learning after whatever phase of life. Here's something for you to remember. Your life will always be disrupted somehow, some way. Sometimes you can predict it and prepare for it. Sometimes you can't. But what you can control is how you respond to it. And sometimes maybe you don't respond to it the best, but if you keep working, if you keep trying it, you'll get better and better and better at responding to it in a way that will actually help you get back to your language learning after everything is over. Basically, what you don't want to do is you don't want to feel so guilty and frustrated and disappointed in yourself that once the holidays are over and it's back to your normal routine, you have a much harder time getting back to your language learning just because you have so many feelings of guilt and frustration. Instead, what you want to do is accept the change in your routine and accept the holidays and be okay with your language learning just not being a priority right now. Because honestly, it's happening whether you make that choice or not. So if you can allow yourself to let go of that frustration now, then once it's time to get back into it, you'll actually be able to, and you won't be dealing with all of these emotions that hold you back from staying consistent. If the last thing that you experienced with your language learning 2 months ago was guilt and disappointment in yourself, that's the first thing that you're going to be thinking about once the holidays are over and you try to pick it up again. Set yourself up for success. Go easy on yourself. Now, on the other hand, if you haven't been learning languages and you realize, yes, I finally have time off to learn a language, I'm going to cram a whole language into my brain, especially because I found YouTube videos that'll teach me how to learn languages in 2 weeks. Excellent, right? Not really. Yes, there are videos of people learning languages in like 24 hours, a week, whatever. But if you're watching my videos, then you want to learn languages consistently and beyond the surface level. You want to be able to have conversations, make friends, maybe travel abroad. And these are things that cannot be accomplished in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Plus, most of these videos and these creators who talk about learning languages so quickly are able to because they commit 100% of their time to learning the language. This means instead of a job, this means instead of family, this means instead of a social life, this means instead of holidays. They are learning languages. And while it's really easy to decide that if you have this time off, then you can be really productive with the things that you're really interested in, remember that the holidays exist for a reason. The holidays exist so that we can take a break and that you can spend time with your family, people that you don't see all the time, do things that are really special in this particular time of year, and you deserve to rest. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that you can't study languages at all over the holiday season. That's not not at all what I'm saying. However, I don't want you to force yourself into something extreme or intense just because you have a couple weeks off from work or school. Language learning should absolutely be something that you enjoy. And if that joy is like compatible with your holiday schedule, then by all means do it. But don't put yourself under so much pressure that you burn out before you even get started. Because nobody wants to spend the holidays feeling frustrated and impatient and upset with themselves that it's not going as well as they thought it would go. Go ahead and study the language and watch movies and listen to music and whatever it is that you want. But I would suggest taking the holidays as like a holiday for your language learning. You can do stuff that you enjoy, just don't put so much pressure on yourself. Next thing to know about learning languages during the holidays is especially for those of you who took advantage of a Black Friday sale. Honestly, it seems like Black Friday starts earlier and earlier every year. And so there's a really good chance that you found a great deal for a language app or course and you've decided to really commit to it and figure out how you're going to use it. Which makes it really tough because when the holidays come and our schedules go in complete disarray, it feels really frustrating. Why can't I use this app? Why can't I learn a language? And then by the time we get to the new year and you get to your regular schedule, you've already learned that you can't learn a language and that you should just give up. When in reality, you're just trying to add too many new things to your life all at once. And so of course it's all gonna collapse. And even if you don't experience this, what's even more likely for you to experience is starting out with the language learning resource and then it falls flat. And it's not because of a new routine, it's not because of the holidays, it's because that particular app or resource that you bought on Black Friday is just kind of disappointing. Now, this can happen for one of two reasons or a combination of those two reasons. Either you don't enjoy that particular resource and you didn't realize it until you tried it and you find it boring, or you find it too challenging, or you find it uninteresting, or any number of things. Basically, you don't enjoy doing it. Or it's not going to give you the results that you're looking for. Now, this last point is really tricky because usually you don't know until you try, but at the same time, people don't know how to find the things that they're looking for. This is totally common, and again, it's not like you being lazy or procrastinating or not good enough or any number of things. Unfortunately, I have a free course that will teach you exactly this, link below in the description. Very simple 3-day video course that will teach you how to look for language learning resources that satisfy your needs, your lifestyle, what you want to learn, all of that stuff. So make sure you grab that at the link below in the description. But the big thing that I want to make sure that you understand is to not let language learning ruin your holidays, or vice versa. Don't let the holidays ruin your interest in language learning. Language learning is not an all or nothing thing. You can and should totally take breaks when necessary, when there's other things happening in life, and you don't need to feel guilty about it. You are allowed to let go of it and come back to it when you come back to the rest of your life. So all that said, if you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video all about learning languages every Wednesday. And of course, don't forget to grab my free course all about how to find the right language app for you, link below in the description. See you there.